Monday, October 8th, 2018, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. This morning, I'll show you how the manipulation of the precious metals continues through CRIMEX. That's another name for COMEX if you want to use it, CRIMEX, the bucket shop exchange that controls the price of gold with paper. It's not real gold. It's like buying a fake Rolex or a fake Louis Vuitton handbag in Dubai or in Hong Kong. That's all it is. They won't be able to continue this forever. They tried it in the 1960s. It was called the London Gold Pool, and that was a covert action by the central banks to keep the price of gold at $35 an ounce. Because at the time it was the law, you know, the U.S. or it was a treaty that the U.S. promised to pay at 35, so they had to make sure that it was at that level. Nowadays it's different. It's a way to keep the phony fiat money system, fractional reserve system alive. Before I look into that though, let's have a look at what the markets are doing, and then I'll show you the blatant, you know, manipulation earlier overnight of gold and silver. So right now it's 8:25 a.m. London time. Gold's at 11.9580, so down almost $7 or 0.5%. Silver is down 18 at 14.44, 1.2%. The high in gold has been 12.04, and we're right near the lows here. Silver, the high was 14.70. The Dow is down 48 points, or 0.2%. The Dow future, 26,397. The S&P 500 future is down 3, and the Nasdaq future, 100 future, is down about 0.16% at 73.86. The dollar is a bit stronger, but not, you know. Sorry, the dollar is a bit stronger, but not as weak as gold, you know, is. Of course, things don't trade in a imperfect unison. Right now, the pound's down about 1/3% at 130.75. The euro is down 24 pips or 0.2% at just around 115. 115 the below. And the dollar is at 113.78 against the yen. Not much change there. The dollar's up about 0.2% against the Chinese yuan. It's at 690.80. I saw that the People's Bank of China cut the reserve requirement rate by 1%. And that's not the interest rates. That's the, you know, the rate, percentage rate of reserves that banks are supposed to keep on their balance sheets. So they cut that requirement rate, not the interest rates. Oil down this morning. WTI is down almost 1%, is down 0.8%, 73.62. So we've come back below that 74 level. And Brent is also making a move lower. It's down 1% at 83.14. So yeah, oil drifting, correcting back down. I still think the trend in the energy or crude oil is prices is for higher prices. What about the bond market? Well, today actually, treasuries, the treasury market is closed. And why is that? Well, today is Columbus Day, so it's a federal federal holiday, as the U.S. call it. So the cash market isn't trading. The 10-year future is trading. It's pretty much, it's actually down about 0.2%, the futures compared to the close on Friday. But it is off the low, so I would argue that the 10-year yield is probably would have been around 3.23. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow to check back on the 10-year yield. Italy is, I would say, we need to still keep a very close eye on Italy. The yield continuing to spike. We are now at multi-year highs. We are at 1-year highs as well. We got up to 352. I think 351 is it might sound weird, but it's a Fibonacci level from the high we had in the 2011, 2012, when I think the Italian 10-year yield went to like 7.5%. So it's the 50% retracement of that high in 2012 and the low that we've seen since then, which was around 1%. So 351. We've been up to 352. So Italy not out of the woods yet with their budget in the EU. So it's getting quite interesting, and I would say that's why the stock markets are not doing too well this morning. Let's see the European stocks. So we got the FTSE down 0.25%, not much. We got the DAX in Germany down 55 or 0.5%. And the Italian 40, they call it here. I remember when I was in the market, it used to be the mid 30, but well, anyway, the Italian index is down 300 points or 1.47%. So yeah, things are still a bit shaky out there. What about Brazil? Yeah, the election, we had the first round. Bolsonaro, who is the anti-globalist so to speak, candidate, a bit like Trump. They call him the tropical Trump. The Economist said he's a bad choice, he's dangerous, but didn't give an option. Well, he's got, after 99.99% of the results have been calculated, he's got 46.03% of the vote. Haddad of the Workers' Party, he's got 29.28. So they're the top two. As Bolsonaro didn't get a majority over 50%, they'll have to go for a second round on October 28th, which is a few Sundays away from now. So that's the situation in Brazil. It looks like he'll probably win, Bolsonaro, but you never know. All the other, the voters that voted for other candidates, they're going to have to decide whether they're going to vote for Bolsonaro or Haddad. But from reading the Brazilian paper, it looks like Bolsonaro won in 16 states and the other guy only in 9. So it looks like he will probably win. What about gold and silver? So what happened overnight? Well, I'll show you. This was around 1:30 a.m. London. So around 8:30 p.m. New York, or 5:30 on the West Coast. And, gold was just trading, prior to this move, gold was trading around 1203 and 1204, not much going on. And all of a sudden, this is a 10-minute chart. You can see how it just falls out of bed, as if, non-farm payroll came out at Sunday night, at 8:30 New York time or 1:30 in the morning in Europe or in Asia. So you can see this is how they do it. This is how they, they take the least liquid time where there's no liquidity, no volume, and they just smack, the futures down. This is par for the course, and that's why we are where we are right now. And the same thing for silver. I'll show you the silver chart. It's even more pronounced, the silver move. It's just like, it's not a gradual move down. It's like some kind of news has come out, but there's no news coming out at that time. So it's very, very strange. Europe is closed. US is Sunday night. People are not really bothered too much about what's going on. And then, lo and behold, the precious metals get smacked down. What's the solution to fighting these criminals? Because in my opinion, that's what they are. In China, regulators, when they find criminality, they put people in jail for many years. I was reading in the earlier in the live stream yesterday that the deputy head of the equivalent of the SEC in China, he's been given 18-year prison sentence for being involved in front-running the markets and also for bribery. So where are you CFTC. You know, are you going to do your job, or are you doing the banker's job? Well, I think you're doing the banker's job, CFTC, and you need to, maybe President Trump should just, clean house in the CFTC. But maybe he's not too interested because it helps him, if the banksters keep the markets as they are and keep souping up the markets, President Trump benefits. But if he is really trying to drain the swamp, he should try to drain also the monetary and banking system in the U.S. and the markets, which, especially the futures market, which as futures and derivatives. The futures trade on exchanges. Derivatives are over the counter, but they're similar. They're derivatives. Even Jim Rickards has said that we don't need all these derivatives on in financial, on precious metals. They are just an instrument of manipulation of the prices. Why do you think they've been able to keep interest rates so low for so long in the treasury market? Well, it's the futures. But like everything, that nothing, lasts forever. Nothing that is unnatural and is not market related or real lasts forever. So yeah, Jim Rickard thinks all these derivatives should be banned. And it got worse, of course, in 1999 when they repealed Glass-Steagall, and the bankers were commercial banks like J.P. Morgan, Citibank, Bank of America, were allowed to go back into the into the investment business, into the futures, into derivatives. Prior to that, they had to be involved in those markets out of the United States. But it was since 1999 that when they did that things have gotten out of hand, and they still haven't brought back Glass-Steagall and separated commercial banking from investment banking. So now everyone's money that is in the banking system is at risk. Prior to Glass-Steagall, your money was fairly safe in the commercial bank because they're not involved in the speculation, but now they are. So disappointing, of course, that gold and silver are down, but it's just a drop in the ocean in terms of the bigger picture. Historically, of course, gold and silver are the best stores of wealth and value, unlike what Jeff Christian says. He says that's rubbish. You don't have to think like that. You have to just keep manipulating the markets and keep trading gold so that the bankers can continue to peddle their fiat money. So that's why I always tell people that you need to buy physical. You need to let people know that the Fed and the Federal Reserve notes are imposters. The dollar is not a Federal Reserve note. Federal Reserve notes are imposters. The dollar is not a Federal Reserve note. The dollar is the weight of silver according to the Constitution. And the Fed mug. It's in the Monaco store. It's in the link in the description below if you're interested. And also for mostly my UK viewers, if you're looking to buy physical gold, a lot of you ask me, use my promo code Monaco64 for goldinvestments.co.uk. One of the oldest, if not the oldest, bullion dealers in the City of London. They've been around since 1980. They're a family business. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can also follow me on Steemit, DTube, and on Twitter. I wish you all a good day. Take care. Bye.